One of my favorite books is by John Gottman, and he is sort of like the foremost marital expert, I guess you could say, especially in the psychology world. I've done like umpteen trainings with his stuff. It's all very, very powerful. And he has a book that's called 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work. And in that book, he talks about how at the heart of the approach is really a very simple truth. And that is that happy marriages are based on deep friendship. And so my question for you today is, do you feel like your marriage includes deep friendship? Because truly we know that over time, the flame that initially was there can definitely wane and life becomes simply doing life together. Not to say that it's loveless or whatever, but that it's just not as exciting as it was when you first met. I remember back in my seminary training, a professor said that the grounds for a successful marriage was endless curiosity about the other person. I absolutely love that phrase, endless curiosity. And so I want to empower you to fan that flame and to feel that fire of deep connection. And here's the exercise that I've shared with couples, and it's really helped them to connect. Well, hi there. My name is Dawn, and I am a licensed therapist, a homeschooling mom, and a Jesus lover. And I am located in Minnesota. I have been married to my sweet husband, Ben, for almost 16 years, and we have 3 kids between the ages of 10 and 13. And my whole hope on this channel is to inspire you to connect more deeply with God and your family. My heart is to bless you and give you tools today that is going to enliven your marriage. So the couple that I most recently worked with, I had them actually set a timer. And so this will not take more than 10 minutes if you are concerned about it being like a very long conversation. It is a time where there is no media. What I'm noticing is that as I'm working with couples where there are phones and there is so many distractions, I just want to remind you that those things are changing our relationships. They're changing our families. They're changing our brains. And we do not want any of those screens or distractions going on during this time of marital connection. So if at all possible, you would have a completely uninterrupted 10 minutes. So if that means that it has to happen at 5:30 in the morning, or maybe it's 10 at night, you are worth it and your marriage is worth it. And so here's what I'd like you to try. Sit and face each other and touch. So whether your knees are touching, or I would love it if you guys could hold hands, this actually satisfies the connection of the physical touch. And so any of you who have read the 5 love languages will recognize that I'm trying to incorporate a lot of this as we go. And I would say specific to Christian couples, I'm going to ask you to have a Bible nearby. So if you are a Christian couple and you're wanting to integrate scripture into your marriage, I would love for you to have that Bible nearby. Not on a phone. And here is the next piece that incorporates a love language. You are going to provide your spouse undivided attention. That means eye contact. That means engaging and listening with your whole heart. So you're not distracted. You're not looking around. You're not writing down, oh, I just remembered I have to go do this when we're done. This is a gift of total focus upon your spouse. And spouses that have the love language of quality time are going to recognize how incredibly powerful even just a few minutes of undivided attention can be. I want one person to go first. And if you can't decide, if you really can't decide, just do whose birthday is next, okay? Sometimes couples just get stuck on that. And what you're going to do is you are going to ask your spouse, tell me how you're really doing today. How are you really doing today? And what we're hoping to get to is the actual heart of that person that you are married to. I don't want to hear what are you doing today. I don't want to hear what's on your plan for today, what's on the agenda today. Sometimes this can take practice because particularly men who are not used to accessing their heart, they love to be like, I'm fine. How are you? And they have a whole 5 minutes to fill. And when they express themselves, here's the thing. As the listener, you cannot fix. You cannot even offer solutions. I don't really want you to say anything. I want you to listen supportively for that entire 5 minutes. And you are going to offer reflections, if anything. A reflection would look like, that sounds hard. Or, I'm so excited for you. That seems exciting and new. Or, I didn't know that about you. Like, that is awesome. Maybe you have to be more specific with your question if you're a newbie. So it could be, what is the best thing that is happening in your life right now? And what is the most challenging thing? That can sometimes get the juices flowing. Your job as the listener, again, is simply to listen. You are only listening, engaging, and supporting them with your body language, with your eye contact, with your physical touch. And then they are going to take a turn. And sometimes I see couples say, well, he can't complain about work during this time. And it's like, well, this is his time. So if he needs to complain about work, you get to listen and you get to be the person that hears the precious jewels coming from his heart. And the same goes for the wife, right? Even if she's complaining or venting about dishes, or maybe there's a challenge with a coworker, you get to listen. No matter how small or insignificant it might seem to you, it's what this person that you've pledged your life to is choosing to share with you right now. And so it's precious. And part of cherishing them is giving them that full engagement of your heart, your eyes, your body language as you listen. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. So for couples that have been extremely conflicted, after they've done a 5-minute check-in with each other, I've had them read out loud 1 Corinthians 13 to each other. And they simply take turns. So out of whatever translation you like, I love the Personalized Promise Bible by James Riddle, which I will link in the notes because it has the first person declaration of love. But you can use any version that you like. But then that person gets to hear you say, I am patient. I am loving and kind. I do not boast. And so it goes on from there. So it is so powerful to hear your spouse declare this over your marriage. You could even use the word we. We are loving. We are patient. We are kind, right? It's just putting in and personalizing that scripture over your marriage. Our marriage totally reflects 1 Corinthians 13 because we as a couple are loving, we are kind. And so I'm excited for you to try this. I know that it's not a magic pill, but there is something very, very powerful about the discipline of giving each other just a few minutes every day that is uninterrupted, where you're touching and engaging and cherishing each other and really getting connected on a heart level and a deep friendship level, like John Gottman says. And then when you incorporate scripture as well, ooh, the limits are off. Your marriage can be so powerful. Your marriage, remember, is a reflection into the world of God's complete love. And so we are not married to be happy as much as we are married to be holy. And so if we don't spend the time together to really engage with each other's hearts, how will we sharpen each other? How will we grow? First of all, how will we even know each other? So I would challenge you today that if you feel like the flame of love has waned a little bit for your spouse, to fan it again and go to God and ask Him to enliven the love in your heart. God, help me to have an endless curiosity about my spouse. I want to always know him on a deeper level. I always want to be in the process of knowing him. And I want you to do the same. So blessings on your marriages this week. I'm so excited to hear, if you try this, what your experience is. Remember, baby steps are okay.